best answer that I can give for most folks is it's subjective, and it depends on the plant that you're growing, and it depends on ultimately if it's shading a bud site. For defoliation, folks, I got a real easy, super simple, ultra freaking badass way to go about my defoliation. If the leaf is covering a bud site, I clip it. That's about it. That's about it. If you go back and watch one of my previous Talk About It Tuesdays, I talk a lot about microclimates and ultimately what a microclimate is, what it can do, and stuff like that. So I will rehash that. So basically, that if you've got a plant that, okay, first and foremost, do not defoliate in veg. Don't do it. Every single part of that plant that's getting sunlight is creating photosynthesis and ultimately having cellular division. Okay? Oh, and that's the wife coming in the back door. It increases cellular division, and so in the vegetative state, you always want it to get the biggest that it can, the best that it can, and the way to do that is keeping all of your fan leaves, all of the leaves intact and absorbing that sunlight, mixing it with oxygen, mixing it with CO2, and ultimately creating cellular division. Okay, that's what we want. So if you've got a plant that's super ultra dense and it's got a bunch of leaves, again, y'all will hear me say it a lot of times, LST. Low stress training is the way to go for autos, okay? Because the plant doesn't have to repair itself. You don't have to add to the harvest cycle, none of that stuff. So if you've got a plant that is dense in foliage and has a lot of biomass in the vegetative state and you're worried about it, just spread it out. Tie that plant down, okay? Tie it to the edge of your pot. Those type of things, all right? Don't clip the leaves. Again, you're going to be doing yourself a disservice if you start trying to defoliate during veg, okay? So then once it gets into flower, I have an easy rule. I already said it. Super easy. If it's shading a bud site, clip it. That's it. Again, autoflowers are different in the fact that, in the sense that, again, these plants, all they want to do is grow. They evolved in a place where they get pretty much 24 hours of light, not super intense, all the way full intensity light, but they have photosynthetic activity for 24 hours a day for approximately 90 days. Okay? All these plants want to do is grow. That's it. That's all they want to do. Okay? So, if you have plants that are getting bushy, super bushy, and it's looking crazy, and your leaves falling out, just spread it out. Spread that plant out. Okay? If you've got a plant that's in flower, and you've got here's your apical meristem, here's a lateral branch. If this lateral branch is covering a bud site that's down here, okay? It's going like that. Clip it, okay? It's really super. You don't have to overthink it. You don't get too crazy with it. You never want to remove more than 15% of the plant's biomass at any one time, especially with autos. Again, we don't have the benefit of a vegetative crutch. We cannot extend a vegetative period and repair damage or do stuff. We have a timer. We have a clock, okay? We got a clock. And so if your plants are doing what they're supposed to all the time, you're going to get the best yield, you're going to have the best smoke, all that good stuff. If you start getting in there and start clipping those leaves and veg, when they're literally, that's what the battery power of the plant is for, okay? if you get into flower and then you start cutting all those leaves off, okay, that's going to stress the plant. That's going to create an issue where, so if you've got the apical meristem right here, okay, and you got inner node here, lateral branches coming off, okay, like that. All right, so if you've got an apical meristem and you have a lateral inner node, which is just the branching as it goes up, okay, if you have those and they are being shaded and not having enough light, it's going to cause underdeveloped buds, it's going to cause premature buds, it's going to cause larvae buds, okay? So you want to make sure that all of that whenever you're getting into flower that you're not taking any more than 15% ever, okay? And only defoliate if it's shading a bud site. Does that make sense to everybody? Hopefully it does. 97, here we go. 97 on the counter. Let's everybody stick around. Stop leaving.